Hello guys, welcome back to mathematics. Today we're gonna check how to create a dot plot. So in this case we already have the values organized, like we have the value 3 two times, the 4 four times, and so on. Now the idea is that we are going to take this information in the table and take it to a graph, the dot plot graph. So the first thing that we need to take in account is that in the dot plot we usually are going to find the frequency in the vertical axis. So here we're going to have the frequency, how many times something is happening or how many elements of the same type we are going to find. And in the horizontal axis, we are going to have the data. In this case, the age of the kids in the group, because notice it says the age of a group of kids. So that means that there are two kids with 3 years old, four kids 4 years old, and so on. Okay, so in the horizontal axis, we need to find the ages that we are talking about. So in this case, we are going to start at 3 and going going until 7. And in the frequency, well, the biggest one is 5. So we're just going to divide in 5 parts. Okay, here I'm gonna doing it by hand, but the idea is to do it with a ruler, like every step has to have the same size in the frequency to this size, and this size should be the same, and it should look something like this. So we have the kid's age and the frequency in a grid perfectly square. In this way, it's going to be easier to represent the information. So the age 3, which is here, it appears twice. So in the frequency, we identify the 2. And the point is going to be, or the dot is going to be in the intersection of those two, representing that the H3 appears twice. Okay. Then the 4 appears 4 times. So from the 4 we are going up 4 steps until we get to the 4 in the horizontal. 4 and 4. Okay. The 5 has a frequency of also 5, so we go up until we get to the 5. Look, the 5 here. So the dot is going to appear here. The 6 has a frequency of 4, so we go up 4 places, 1, 2, 3, 4 places. We also check that going horizontally we find 4. And finally, the 7 has a frequency of 5. So we go up from the 7 to get the 5. And this is the dot plot. So this dot plot represents the same information as this table here, but sometimes it's useful to have the dot plot because it gives you information right away. For example, in the dot plot, you can identify that 5 and 7 are the most common age in your group. And for example, 3 doesn't have as many kids as the other ages. In a graph, it's very easy to see it, and especially when you have a lot of data. That in a table it would be a little bit more complicated. Okay, guys, it's time for you to practice. I leave you this exercise here and pause the video and then come back to check the solution. Okay, let's see. So in this case, again, we are going to have the values in the horizontal axis, in this case, the groups of the kids, A, B, and C. And in the vertical axis, remember, we have the frequency. So we need a graph like this one. So in the horizontal, A, B, and C. And in the vertical, the biggest frequency that we have is 5. Okay, so the table says that A has a frequency of 3. So A, we go up until we get the 3. For B is going to be up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, that horizontally, we find the 5. And finally, C, we go up 3. 1, 2, and 3. Again, horizontally, we find the 3. And this is going to be the dot plot. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, book your own lessons with me, and Let me any question you have about this topic or any other one. Bye bye, guys. See you next time.